The search for Michael Vaughn continues. Michael went missing from his neighborhood in Fruitland in July of 2021. He was just 5 years old at the time. Law enforcement has spent the last year and a half investigating. But the Fruitland police chief says a credible tip led investigators to a home near Michael's neighborhood this weekend.
Crews are back out in Fruitland today searching for Michael Vaughn. Police believe his remains are in the backyard of a Fruitland home, and today is the sixth day crews are excavating the yard. Crews could be at the house on Red Wing Street for another week. This house is just 4 minutes from the Vaughn's home.
As you know, from the time Michael went missing, this has been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, and it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughn could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland. As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search warrant for the residence along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Stacey Wondra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement. The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wondras' home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property, all of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Ground penetrating radar was also used and deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation of the entire backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughn were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing. Once the excavation was complete, we conducted a thorough search of the Wondras' residence. The search was productive, and additional investigative evidence was recovered and is currently being processed.
Evidence suggests that the following individuals who are currently in custody are involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughn. Stacey Wondra, 35 years old. Sarah lives at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Sarah has firsthand knowledge and is involved in Michael's abduction. Stacey Wondra is currently being held at the Payette County Jail for failing to report a death to law enforcement. And Stacey Wondra, 30 years old, a male. Stacey was also living at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland and was living there at the time of Michael's disappearance. We believe that Stacey has firsthand knowledge and is involved in the abduction of Michael Vaughn. Brandon Shirtliff, 30 years old, of Kuna, Idaho. Brandon was living with Sarah and Stacey Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe Brandon has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction. Adrian Lucian, 32-year-old male out of Toledo, Ohio. Adrian was staying with Sarah and Stacey Wondra at 1102 Red Wing Street at the time of Michael's disappearance, and we believe that Adrian has firsthand knowledge of Michael's abduction.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Well, so many people are here. Thank you guys all for coming in. It is Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, and we are here to analyze more of Stacey's YouTube shit show. For real. And that's exactly what it has been for the past couple of weeks. So many contradictions, so many lies. I don't even know how he did it. I don't know how he got up on panel, lied as much as he did, and just continued to do it no matter what anybody said, no matter who pointed out that he was lying. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And today we'll be going over the psychic DONNA SERAPHINA. I hope I'm SERAPHINA. When Stacey Wondra joined her. So this ought to be interesting because I've only seen a few minutes of it. It's only like 45 minutes long. It's not going to be a long live today. But let's see who's in chat. Hair Curlers in Crime, Chaos Queen. Thank you, mods, for coming. I appreciate you so much. So much. You know, we've really become a family here on Missing PNW, and I just want to thank you guys all for showing up for Michael and the Vaughn family and supporting me. Baby kisses. Good to see you. Julia, glad to have you back. I think it's Dree or Dry. Yeah. It's Donna. I haven't seen it all. We'll see. We will see. Rizzo, thank you for joining us again. It's good to see you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. So happy to have everybody here supporting Michael. It's so important. It really is. AV, good to see you. Patchwork pudding. Pudding. I like chocolate pudding. Chocolate pudding. Oh my gosh, that actually sounds amazing. Oh, I love looking through all of the emojis. You guys are great. It just cracks me up. Nobody wants to hear Stacey Wondra smack on gummy worms or anything. Minky, glad to have you here. I believe that's how you say it. Justice is coming for Monkey and the Vaughn family. Absolutely, 100% it's coming. The DA has already said that they've brought up the charges. And it's just a matter of time before it happens. They're just getting everything together. Good to see you, Diane. Great to have you here. Jen, I'm glad to see you're back, cuz. Thank you for being back. Rama Pickle. Love those pickles. And Sassy, great to have you. Again, so many people have been coming back and joining us, and I appreciate it so much. I hope you guys got your pen and your paper. I got my pen and paper. I got my iced coffee. I got water. I got my chapstick. I got it all. AC, good to see you. Hello. Halo Art is here. Thank you, Mod, so much for coming. Little Devil, great to see you. Thank you for coming. You almost want to say that like Little Devil. Good to have you. Hair Curlers in Crime. Best YouTube name on the YouTube streets. Thank you for coming. Criminal Med, great to see you. Pam O'Connor. Everybody's coming in. Keep joining us. Love having you all here. Again, it's Tuesday, the 18th, 2025. How is everybody doing today? My body is sore. I did a very long workout today. My weights were heavy, but hey, they got to be heavy. I say lift heavy or go home, right? I'm getting back into my weightlifting, and yeah, my body's been sore for weeks, but I'm down over 50 pounds. So I'm loving it. I love having all that extra energy and stuff that you have once you lose all that weight too, because I'm able to chase my grandbabies around a little bit better and stuff. And yeah, I am, really looking forward to this spring and summer. I promised myself that I would get down to a certain weight so that I can get in my kayak this year. I got my kayak before the pandemic. I gained some weight during the pandemic, didn't get back in it. And yeah, I am ready and bound and determined to get my ass back in that kayak so that I can fish from it. And yeah, we like to drive to all of the wildlife sleuths and stuff, and you can like sloughs, not sleuths, all the little sloughs and stuff that you can go in and, you know, really see the wildlife and stuff from the kayak. I love being out in nature. But hello, Beverly. Callie, great to see you. Lena, great to see you too. You guys are awesome. So here is Michael Vaughn. He was abducted from Fruitland, Idaho, right around the corner from his house. Dad was inside changing the baby's diaper and ordering some pizza, and Michael decided to wander away from the house. And there were monsters right around the corner on July 27th of 2021. It's been a little over 3.5 years. Michael deserves justice, and so does his family. There are 4 named suspects. Updated January 10th of 2025. They were named suspects in 2021 or 2022. And they are still suspects. Sarah Wondra, Stacey Wondra, Brandon Shurtleff, and Adrian Lucian. It is time for justice, and we need any more tips that we can possibly get before the DA pushes forward on Michael's case. If you do have a tip, doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter how little, it doesn't matter whether or not you think your tip is good enough to call in. It is up to law enforcement to determine that, but they can't determine that if you don't call. So please call the Fruitland Police Department at 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. You can remain anonymous, and if your information can lead to the whereabouts of Michael Vaughn, there is a over $52,000 reward. I mean, cash is a huge motivator. If you've got some substantial tip, like a big tip, $52,000 is a lot of money. And more importantly, being Michael's hero. Be Michael's hero. Be the Vaughn's family's hero. Lord knows they could use a hero right now. Brandy Neal will be going to Utah at the beginning of April. We always ask for prayers for Michael to come home. We pray for Brandy as she is struggling for her life right now with her liver disease. And of course, we want to pray and hope to God that one of these 4 suspects will tell the family exactly where Michael is. Because one of these 4 suspects abducted Michael, one of these 4 suspects murdered Michael, and maybe a couple of them murdered Michael. We don't know. We don't know exactly what happened. One or more of these people buried Michael in the backyard. and one or more of these people moved Michael to an unknown location where Michael is now. And it is time. It's time for somebody to talk and say something. I am pleading with you, Adrian. If you were set up, come talk to law enforcement. Email them at findmichael@fruitland.org. You can call the tip line at 208-642-6006 yourself. Adrian, if you know anything, please come forward. Brandon, if you know anything, please come forward. We've had many discussions. Make that phone call. Go in and talk to law enforcement. I know you're thinking about it. Let's go in. Let's talk to law enforcement. It's time. So, yeah, could you imagine being the parent or being a family member of your 5-year-old brother or your 5-year-old son that was abducted and taken, later on found to be murdered? I just can't even imagine. And the Vaughn family has been so strong and has shown so much strength throughout the years. It's just really disheartening to know that there are people out there that know where Michael is, and yet nobody wants to say anything. And it will all come back to bite you in the ass in the end. Justice is coming, no matter what they think. When we listen to Stacey going through all of these interviews, his egotistical attitude, his I'll never get caught attitude, man, I can't wait for the indictments to know that the look that was on his face when he sounds so, and when he starts talking about, oh shit, I mean, I'd just love to see the look on his face when they hand him the indictments, because he is already incarcerated now on unrelated charges. But man, to just look at any of their faces, actually, not just Stacey's, but any of their faces, when indictments do get handed out, or when the cuffs do get put on Brandon or Adrian or both, because it's coming, no matter what they think. The indictments are going to come, the arrests are going to be made, and they're going to be looking at the death penalty. They're going to be looking the rest of their life in prison, waking up every single morning to loud clicking noises and security guards, prison patrol, whatever you want to call it. Wake up! It's time to eat breakfast. Get in line. Stay in line. Follow me. You go in, you sit down, you eat your breakfast. You may or may not be able to go outside, just right back, clink. And you just sit there all damn day. You might be able to read a book. You might be able to write some letters. Hell, it might even be visiting day and someone might come see you that day. But there ain't much to do in prison. And some people might like you and some people might not. From what I understand, not very many people like Stacey Wondra, and he doesn't like being there. So, let's call in a tip. Let's go talk to law enforcement suspects. Let's tell law enforcement where Monkey is. If you have a tip, please call 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. No tip is too small. Collect that reward money. Because if it's big enough, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, they're definitely not too fond of people that hurt children. That's definitely something else to think about. Hello, Blue Herring. It's good to see your beautiful soul today. For years, suspects, for years, Don't mess with animals. Don't mess with children. They are screwed. Once they get to prison, karma will get them. Karma's going to get them. Absolutely. Bring Michael home. It's good to see you too, Blue. Thank you for coming in. You know, it's just, you hear Brandy talk about the DA going to be bringing charges, and I think we've all been sitting on the edge of our pants just ready. When will it happen? We do know it's going to happen. But it's coming. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Thank you guys all for coming. We will bring Michael home. Law enforcement will bring Michael home. We're Monkey's Army. We're not going away. We are not going away. We're not going anywhere. No matter what, we're going to be right here. Thank you for coming in, Past. I appreciate you coming. Spread love. Good to see you. I don't know that I've ever seen you come in. So, like I said, Donna's interview with Stacey Wondra, I believe, is like 45 minutes. Yeah, start talking. Help bring him home, Monkey home, to his family. Thank you guys for supporting one another, saying hi. Welcome into the Missing PNW family. We might as well get right at it. So today we are going over Donna Seraphina's interview. She is a psychic with Stacey Wondra. I have not watched it all. I don't know if she does any kind of psychic reading or whatnot inside of here or inside of her live. We will see. I'm not gonna probably speculate or theorize with any of, how do I put that? I want to show her much respect because she did get Stacey Wondra on. But I probably won't theorize or speculate too much on any kind of reading that she may do. It will be interesting if she did do one. I'm not sure. But Slim, welcome in, hun. But yeah, just interesting to see what she has to say, but more interested in hearing what Stacey has to say. We have found quite a few little hiccups and stuff. There's been lots and lots and lots of lies, lots and lots and lots of contradictions when it comes to the child that Stacey saw, when it comes to the different times and his timeline, when he was at the splash pad, when he got home later that day, whether Adrian was at the house that night or not, whether Brandon and Sarah were home when he got home, where he was throughout the day. In the beginning, he mentions being with Labor Dave for 3 hours, and then all of a sudden, he doesn't talk about Labor Dave anymore. We know that he went and picked up a prescription in Payette. We know he sat at a park for 2 to 3 hours, kitty corner from Brandy's work in Payette. I don't know for a fact whether or not he actually had a taxi ride that day and that call came in at 11 a.m., but he says he left the house around 1. CCTV puts him leaving that neighborhood or at the splash pad about 1:30. So did he go to Ontario and then drop off that taxi ride in Boise? It's the one and only thing that Stacey does stay consistent with. I believe that to be true, that he went to Ontario and then went to Boise, but I just don't know if it was for a taxi ride. Was there something else behind that? because on JLR, somebody says something to JLR. It was an employee or something about a shovel in Ontario, but I don't know if that happened that day. I'm just kind of speculating a little bit here, but was it really a taxi ride? I just don't know if it was a taxi ride or not, but he's very consistent with the fact that he went to Ontario and then to Boise. And then from there, we really don't even know what Stacey did that day, do we? Because he lies so much. He has also said that he only had one taxi ride in the very beginning, but then when he talks to Brandy up on my panel, he talks about there being a second taxi ride that day, and that he was actually at an apartment complex picking up that taxi ride near that skate park in Payette, kitty corner from where Brandy was working. And I find that to be really interesting that he talks about that now. And I asked him up on the show, like, how did that taxi guy pay for it? And he said it was cash. So it's not even documented. And I find that really suspicious. Who was he picking up? Ink Love Bliss, good to see you. All right. No worry, Kelly. You take your time. I know everybody has lives. Y'all do what you guys need to do. I just appreciate you mods being here for me in the channel. I just appreciate it so much. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. I'm watching chat. And most of all, I'm keeping my ears open for any slip-ups. From what I did see here, Stacey seems to be a little bit upbeat. We don't see him too upbeat. He's got a little bit of extra energy and he's being all nice. So I'm really interested in to see how this particular interview goes, and we're going to watch it together. I need to put up a banner for Donna. Ooh, I didn't write. Hold on one second. We gonna have to fix this. Hold on. I need to write credit. That is better. All right. So we're giving credit to Donna, and I'm going to add her right here in chat. If any of the mods want to copy the link and continue to share throughout the live, I would gladly appreciate it. She is also in the description box. Thank you, Hair Curlers in Crime. You're just right on top of it. Thank you so much, hon. We'll leave that there. And then, yeah, here we go. All right. Here we go. Grab your pen, grab your paper, grab yourself something to drink, go to the bathroom. It's time to get started.
Hear you now.
Okay. I haven't done this before. So, I wanted to try to like cover some things that haven't been covered nonstop, on all these other channels. So I guess I should introduce you, and then I don't know if you have things to talk about that aren't like on every other channel already.
No.
So they've gutted you. They've gutted you inside and out.
They have. Yeah.
They've covered everything, huh? I know, that's what I was thinking, if there was any point if they hadn't covered everything already.
No, it's all out there.
It's all out there. So, well, one thing, then can I ask you a couple things that I'm curious about? Okay, so one thing is I was clicking through the channels this morning, and it said that Sarah, is that she your still wife? She's your wife?
Yeah, I have divorce papers filed, but
He said no.
For now, yeah.
But she doesn't want to sign them.
No, it's not that. I just have to get her served. She's in
Yeah.
prison, so.
Can you serve people in prison?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you just got to get the money and do that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then her ex-boyfriend, like, I don't know what I was
Ricky?
gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Husband?
so he
Mhm.
called in that show and he was saying that
Mhm.
she used to abuse him and hit him with pots and pans and stuff.
Oh, Sarah, no, it was the complete opposite. He did that to Sarah.
Oh, so she's non-violent.
Mhm.
So you think he is
At
lying?
least, at least that's what she told me. So I don't know.
Oh, she
I
said
don't, I don't really.
she said he was beating her or abusing her.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then
which is why she got out of where she was at with him.
and then
Well, the most important thing that happened up there when he popped up on Josh's channel, The Lab, was that Sarah's ex-husband said that Sarah had had this fantasy about kidnapping somebody before. And she started mentioning it and talking about it so much that it freaked him out and he left her. He makes it even sound like that's the reason why he left her. I don't care who was hitting who with pots and pans. I want to know more about her fantasy about kidnapping people. Is that where the idea came from? Was it Sarah?
then he says that she sent him to prison.
Jail, not prison.
Oh, just jail. Was that for domestic violence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have anything else to talk about except for what he said on all of the other channels. Yeah, I have a feeling we're probably going to hear the same old, but there could be a little bit of a slip somewhere.
Yeah. So now he's saying it was her beating him. And then what else did he say? Oh, he said that she used to say that she wanted to kidnap someone and take control of them and stuff. And do you think he's making all that up, or do you think she has a quirky side like that?
No. I'm 90% positive, 99% positive that he's making all that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot about the part where he says, and take control. Like, you want to kidnap somebody and take control. Okay, so what? Put them in chairs, take control or whatever. But I've always said, then what? Then what else was her fantasy? Yeah, like Kelly is saying here, not sure if you would consider someone that sticks a pew-pew in someone's face non-violent, but okay. And Stacey's also talked about her doing that to him. That's one of the reasons why she's sitting in jail now. She has menace in the 3rd degree menace over in Oregon. Menacing is a type of, threatening is pretty much what that is. Threatening somebody. She is a violent person. It just takes something, it makes her snap. Almost like Stacey with his anger issues. But what did Sarah want to do after she took control? What was her fantasy after that? I wish her ex-husband would have talked more about that. And of course, here Stacey's going to, deny any of this.
Yeah.
To make her look bad because trying to get retaliation or revenge or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
So another thing I was wondering is, okay, like, you're in the middle of this neighborhood and, I know a lot of people think you're guilty and stuff, but if you weren't guilty, just assume it's a blank slate either way, right?
Mhm.
How does it feel to have every single person insisting you're guilty of something? Like, how does it feel emotionally?
Frustrating. It's not fair. Everybody deserves to be innocent until proven guilty. And they're taking it the complete opposite. It's bullshit is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's cruel. It's unusual. It's not even
frustrating, cruel, not fair. What about the family? We know Stacey had involvement. We know that now because of the confession footage that came out. He tells law enforcement where to look for Michael in the backyard. He knows he's already done that when he's doing this interview, still up there lying his ass off, acting like he has nothing to do with it, not giving a crap about what the family's going through. He is literally a monster without a soul in my eyes. He truly is.
There's no need for it, you know.
And do you think that's mostly YouTubers or all just even in Fruitland, just the general public?
I don't know. I'm not in Fruitland, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, are you, well, okay, on probation, do you have to stay in the same county or like?
No,
No,
I'm on federal probation.
Oh, so are you in Idaho? But you have to stay in Idaho, right? So,
he had to stay in Idaho, but Brandon even said on the live that Sarah and Stacey, after Michael came up missing, were talking about moving out of state. I'd like to know more about that, but I don't know much more about that other than they did talk about moving out of state. And we know Stacey's from Montana.
I'm not going to ask any more than that just for your safety. But so you think the general public, like if you go into a store and someone recognizes you, they just assume you're guilty?
That's the way it's been lately.
That must be pretty weird.
It's hard.
Yeah, emotionally, I would imagine it'd be really hard. Because I know it's enough of adjustment when you get out of prison.
Exactly, Callie. What about Tyler and Brandy and what they had to deal with people blaming them? People that were Tyler and Brandy were never even considered suspects. They've been working with law enforcement. Law enforcement calls Monkey their son. Brandy and Tyler stand side by side with law enforcement at almost every single news conference that they do. I've seen Tyler there sometimes and then Tyler not there sometimes. He's been asked by a reporter, how come you don't come out? How come you don't talk? How come you don't get up on YouTube? How come? Because I feel shitty. I feel guilty. Tyler struggles to this day with the guilt when he did nothing wrong. He was caring for one of his other children when Michael, being 5 years old, just wanting to find somebody to play with, decided to walk out the door and go find somebody to play with. No fault of Tyler's, no fault of anybody in the house. Michael walked out of the house. Nobody saw him walk out. But Tyler realized immediately that he was gone and started looking for him. There was no time for either of them. Brandy was at work all day. Papa was getting his hair cut out of town, hanging out with some buddies. Tyler's there at the house, and there's no time for him to hurt Monkey and then do anything with him before law enforcement is called and Brandy's hauling ass home to get home to look. Blue, now that she's came out with her essay that she wrote, has told us how she was looking around, even letting Michael know, okay, buddy, everybody's kind of getting scared. It's okay. Like, come on out. These parents, Brandy and Tyler Vaughn, have had nothing to do with Michael's disappearance. Nothing.
Prison to try to get a job and just adjust to people going back and forth. Busy all around you. Right?
Yeah.
After you get out there, that it takes a while. I know that. And so they have you stay in a halfway house? Is that where you're at?
No, I'm in a hotel right now.
Oh, in a hotel. You got to pay for it yourself, or do they pay for it? You got to pay for it yourself?
Oh, good Lord. Now we got to watch him spit in a bottle. Oh, God, it's disgusting.
Huh.
Yep.
And then I heard True Crime with Eve
Mm-hmm.
and one time. So it looks like she's been covering the case for a long time or in depth
She
or something.
has.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I actually talk to her all the time.
oh, you do. And does she just sit there and tell you she thinks you're guilty or something?
No.
Oh, she doesn't say anything either way? Because I was wondering that too. I was like, okay, so if they're going to this conclusion right away that you're guilty, then on what basis?
Mm-hmm.
Is it only
It's all I like speculation. There's no until I am charged in law enforcement, by the prosecuting attorney, everything is all speculation by people. It's never been, I haven't been charged, and there's a reason I haven't been charged. You know what I mean? Like, they
Yeah.
don't,
If he wouldn't get up here and lie so much and give so many inconsistencies and so many different contradictions, everybody wouldn't be speculating so much of the fact that he had something to do with it. Also, besides the fact that he gave the damn tip to law enforcement to begin with, the Michael was in his backyard, buried in his backyard.
they've been trying
Playing the victim here hardcore, and it's pissing me off.
for 2 years to charge me, and Sarah and Brandon and Adrian, but is you would think that is as much as they talk about trying to find somebody to charge, you know, if they had concrete evidence, don't you think they would have already charged me? I mean, it's already been what, 3 years?
They're waiting to find Michael. It really is what it has came down to. The reason why arrests weren't made prior. They really, really, really have just wanted to find Michael, and they're realizing that might not happen. And that's why they went ahead and wrote up the charges. They really wanted to bring home it is hard to do a no-body case. It really is hard to do a no-body case, but I believe with the evidence that they have and circumstantial evidence that they have, that they're going to be able to prosecute, and I do believe they will be found guilty.
Yeah.
July will be 3 years, you know what I mean? Like, they've been saying for years, though, you know what I mean? Like, they're
Yeah.
going to charge somebody, but there's not, it's just, they cannot charge, they can't charge something you don't have evidence for, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what's frustrating, is like, I'm being treated as this evil monster, this evil person, and people don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
They don't know
Yeah.
my heart. They don't know my the way I am with people, like, at all. And
If you want to know Stacey Wondra's heart, go watch the live that he does with me and Brandy, and you'll know exactly who Stacey Wondra is. He's a monster. A monster that plays the victim and manipulates anybody and everybody that crosses his path.
and it's hurtful. Like, it's very sad, to be honest. Like,
I would think it would be very alienating. It'd be like you're all alone in the world or something.
I feel like I'm all alone 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have anybody in Idaho. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like, it's me for myself right now.
And then everybody acts weird to you everywhere you go and stuff. No, it'd be weird. It was like that during COVID when everyone was all alone. And I mean, it's the same kind of idea where you're just isolated and everyone's acting freaked out or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So did the police actually name you as an actual suspect?
They did, but I don't know on what grounds at all.
That's what I was wondering. Like, what are they? What do they lay out as? And is it solely okay? So say if my people watching this don't know, they don't watch those other channels, and they just happen to watch mine, and so Michael went missing, and is the only actual evidence they have is the circumstantial? Do they have a photo of you at 8th in Arizona pulled
Yeah,
over?
they do. They have timestamped. Correct. They have a whole video of that. I watched it with the detectives. It is solely me out of the truck. Sarah's.
Wait a minute, is he saying that there's CCTV cameras that actually see them pull over here on 8th in Arizona? Or really, Stacey? Really? You are not just saying that. No way.
That I watched it with the detective.
Hold on. I'm sure they let him see the CCTV at the splash pad. That's at the end of 8th, close to the highway. And that's how they have them on CCTV. But there are no cameras over by 8th in Arizona. Because if there were, they would know exactly where Monkey is, where he went, and who took him. An arrest would be like, it would have been open, closed case. This is the vehicle that took Michael. Boom, blam, done. Clink in the slammer.
A photo of you at 8th in Arizona?
Negative. I can't believe he's even going to agree with such a lie. He got into an argument about this with Brandy too. I even said to him, there are no cameras there. And he was like, yes, there is. Trying to argue with me, but there's not. There is not. Yeah, and he's seen the video. He's so full of it. Exactly, Callie. He's so confident with someone who doesn't know too much about the case compared to Brandy's interview. Yes, I agree. Let's see. I'm just looking through comments real quick.
So Michael went missing, and is the only actual evidence they have is the circumstantial? Do they have a photo of you at 8th in Arizona pulled?
Is there any evidence that they have? Ooh, need to put on closed caption, right? Sorry, guys. Let's get that up there. All right.
Yeah, they do. They have timestamped. Correct. They have a whole video of that. I watched it with the detectives. It is solely me out of the truck. Sarah's in the driver's side. Brandon's in the back seat. I'm outside the.
I just have to point out here, he's saying Brandon's in the back seat, but Brandon says he got out of the truck too to help put in the power steering fluid.
The truck with the hood up, putting power steering fluid in the truck, exactly like I told the story, told everybody else.
And in that whole movie, the police showed you that movie, and Michael's not in that movie.
There's no Michael anywhere.
Movie in the footage.
Oh, that's interesting. And then where does it show you drive back out to that main 8th Street and leave?
I really just can't believe that he's trying to play off like there's footage of them pulled over to the side of the road. If there was footage in that area at all, they would know exactly what happened to Michael.
That's interesting too. Okay. So they haven't sat there. They must have sat there when they're interrogating you and told you, here's your evidence, like what we think we have. They always kind of put that on the table. So what is it that makes you a suspect to them?
They haven't given that. Like they literally all they showed me was a timestamp of me pulling off at the splash park that day at 1:30 p.m. and it was exactly as I described, me getting out of the vehicle, walking around, grabbing.
He actually says 1:30 p.m. here and actually gets it right because that is when law enforcement said that they have him on footage. 1:30 p.m. at the splash pad in Michael Vaughn's neighborhood. It's only about a block and a half away from Michael's house, the Vaughn house.
My can of chew, going back to the driver's side and leaving. I was there for maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And that was in the Lexus. And then that night before we left, there was a timestamp that they showed us of us taking the truck. Exactly as I said. That's all I've seen.
And did you go past the splash pad?
The
On the
second
truck?
time?
Yeah, after you put the stuff in, is the way out.
Yeah,
you have to go past.
you have to pass the splash pad to get to the main highway.
Okay,
US
yeah.
95.
Okay, and then do they have Michael on video anywhere near you ever? And they don't have any physical evidence, right?
No.
So it's just that you happen to
Leaving the neighborhood on their way to CUNA after they say they put the power steering fluid in the neighborhood at 7:08. Law enforcement has said that Michael came up missing between 6:40 and 7:10, and they're seen leaving that neighborhood at 7:08 on their way to CUNA to go get Brandon's car from his mom's house and tow it back. Brandon says when they leave there, they go to a gas station to fill up with gas. Stacey says they did not get gas.
be in the same area.
As he lived.
But you live in that. But how many blocks away do you live?
About a half mile away from him.
And then
Maybe a
the
quarter of
way
a
out
mile.
to the freeway is you would all go out from that neighborhood that direction.
Correct.
I see.
There is only one way in and one way out of the neighborhood, and that is 8th Street, going out to the highway.
I'm trying to figure out, did they ever label you guys as suspects prior to Sarah having her episode on the driveway? Is that what brought them to you guys, or what brought them to you
I
guys?
don't know. Like, again, I was in jail when they started interrogating me, which made no sense.
Well, in April of 2022, I believe, yes, 2022, Sarah's arrested, he's arrested when he went to go pick up their cell phones. So law enforcement already had their cell phones. And we know Carson said that dogs hit outside the Wondra's house in the vicinity of their house. So I believe that law enforcement came onto them much sooner than they actually think. In my opinion, I'm only speculating here, but I feel like they knew something.
Like they started questioning me when I was being interrogated or when I was in jail, you know? So it just, there was nothing that, it didn't make sense at all. And I told the detectives the same thing. I was like, look, I've never even heard of this family or this Michael Vaughn person. Like, never even seen him, never even heard about him.
Sarah, suspicious. Thank you for coming in, doll. Yes, he did call in the tip.
They didn't know his existence until the night he disappeared. You know, it just made no sense to me, at least. It seemed to make no sense to Sarah or Brandon, his existence until the night we even seen him, never even heard about him. They didn't know, never even heard of when they started interrogating me, which made no sense.
I just want to rewind, go through this part again, because whenever he talks about Michael, he usually slips up. So I just want to listen closely here.
Like they started questioning me when I was being interrogated or when I was in jail, you know? So it just, there was nothing that, it didn't make sense at all. And I told the detectives the same thing. I was like, look, I've never even heard of this family or this.
He's saying that during his interrogation, he's telling law enforcement that he's never even heard of this family or Michael, but yet he's the one who calls law enforcement and tells them, I have a tip to give you about Michael Vaughn, and then proceeds to tell them where Michael was buried in his backyard. Make that make sense.
Michael Vaughn person. Like, Never even seen him. Never even heard about him. Didn't even know his existence until
Yeah.
the night he disappeared. You know, it just made no sense to me, at least. It seemed to make no sense to Sarah or Brandon, but you know,
Fumbling his words a little bit there much. Didn't make sense to me. Didn't make sense to Sarah and Brandon. I mean, fumble.
I don't know. I'm not going to speak on their behalf. You know.
Yeah. So, is what's Sarah in prison for now?
Ag assault and attempted concealment or destruction of evidence.
And that part's related to Michael?
No,
Oh, just
no part related to Michael. That's strictly for the ag assault charge.
who did she assault?
One of the tenants that was staying with us, Tanner Butler.
Oh, okay. That's who that
Mhm.
Brandon guy was talking about before. She
Yeah.
hit him with a dog bone or something? She
Yeah,
hit
and
him
held
with a
him
dog-
at gunpoint with a pistol.
Oh, she held him at gunpoint. Why'd she do that?
And hit him with the dog bone too.
Wow.
Because he was trying to overtake kind of control of cooking in the house, and Sarah wasn't okay with that, and neither was I. And specifically on our anniversary is the day that Sarah got arrested in 2022, and
Uh-huh. On your anniversary?
April 13th.
April 13th.
That's her arrest date. Yeah.
Oh,
And
for the
then,
ag assault? For the ag
yeah.
assault?
Mhm.
So she got arrested and they took her away?
Mhm.
Did she say anything to them? Did they?
Good catch, Fancy Clam. Thank you for coming in, hun. He hadn't heard before interrogation about Michael, but heard the day Michael came up missing. Which one is it, Stacey? Oh my gosh. You are amazing. This is why I love having you guys in chat, having you here to help me find the inconsistencies, because I did not catch that, and that just makes perfect sense. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
They questioned her about Michael Vaughan at that time? So you guys weren't on their radar at that point?
Correct.
And then,
But they were on their radar at that point, because he says that they get arrested in April, and he gets arrested in May, and they are giving them both lie detector tests that he says questions were about Michael. Still to this day have never gotten confirmation that they even took lie detector tests. But when he does talk about the lie detector tests, he only talks about him, Sarah, and Brandon getting a lie detector test, and he never mentions Adrian. Why? If they're all four suspects, why wouldn't Adrian have gotten a lie detector test?
then did they let her out on bail or something?
I let her out on pre-trial release.
Mm.
And she was out for like 3 months and then got rearrested in November.
So, okay, so I'll put November. So when she got out, was she like in a psychotic state or something?
Mm-hmm.
Like day to day, she was saying things that were really out there.
Mm-hmm. From what I've been told, yeah, by Karsten.
Oh, you weren't staying at the house anymore?
Oh, I was in jail. I just got out in November. I've been in
Oh,
jail.
okay.
I was in jail for 18 months straight.
Okay, so when
From
did you get arrested?
May 6th, 2022.
May 6, 2022.
And I got released November 6th, 2023.
Okay, and so on April, okay, so you got out November when?
6th, 2023.
2023, November 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept you in there for a little,
18 months, a
18
little bit
months?
over 18 months, over 17 months.
And before Sarah was arrested for holding the gun on someone because she didn't like his cooking. I mean,
Well, it wasn't
like
that
Ma
she didn't
Parker
like
or
it
something.
wasn't that she didn't like his cooking. He literally took it on himself to cook he was going to cook his dinner for our anniversary, and just decided to start cooking.
Uh-huh.
And we had already told him that we had plans that night.
Uh-huh. Oh, so this is when you were out. Was this in 2021 or or in April 2022 before you went to prison? Okay, so she did this before you went to prison, the gun thing?
Where I never went to prison. I was in county the whole time.
Oh, you were in count. Oh.
Mhm.
Okay, so you were out and he wanted to make you both dinner for your anniversary and he started to do it and she didn't want him to do it.
But
And-
he had also been really persistent with things and like started being controlling and wasn't paying us any money at the time. So he was
But still, I mean, he's still sitting here making all these excuses for Sarah, yet none of that is, okay for Sarah to point a GUN at his head. Come on, Stacey.
was just being like a
Doesn't matter how controlling it was, doesn't matter what he was doing. You get upset, you get angry, you kick somebody out of your house. If you're not paying the bills, if you're not doing those things and you're mad at your roommate, you kick them out. You don't put a pew pew to their head.
like a bum, if you will.
yeah, but he wanted to start running your house. And she just had
Sarah
enough.
and I were just tired of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just came to a head right then. Boom. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So she pulls the gun on him and did he go running out the door or what?
Exactly, Shannon. God forbid somebody do something nice for them on their anniversary, like make them dinner. Jeez.
No, she held him pretty much up. He was on the phone with his mom when she was doing this, and she didn't know that. And so his mom had called 911. And at the same time, he was like, my mom just called 911. So Sarah tried calling 911 to report him as
in earlier statements that he has made, I have heard that Sarah called 911, which he's also saying, and I've heard that the guy called 911, but here you're hearing that he's on the phone with his mom and his mom calls 911. Got to take a little bit of a mini break and go over here and thank Little Devil for being such a wonderful member to Pacific North or Missing PNW. Sorry, fumbling my words. We got to celebrate and do a little bit of a dance in our chair. Thank you for. I appreciate that so much, so much. Thank you so much. Right back over here.
burglar. I don't know how to even put that. I don't
Oh, like
exactly,
trespassing or something?
Yeah. And so, so she's pretty much tried making up a story to cover up, just because his mom made us, called the cops. And that's, it didn't work out for her.
No, because did this guy ever start running when she pointed the gun at him? Did you see her do that?
No.
No, it didn't turn out good for her because she took that pew pew over to her mom's house and tried to conceal the fact that she even had it. She got in some trouble for sure.
I saw her.
Did she point it right at it? Did she point it right at him?
Square in the face. Yep.
Oh, right in his face.
Do
you think she?
Tell me that ain't violent. A pew right up to your face.
She would have pulled the trigger.
Well, I don't think she had the balls to, no. But
she was super mad or something. Right? That's sometimes when people do it too. They just get out of control or whatever. So they arrested her, and how long was she held in jail before they let her out?
She got released. I think she was. It was in April until July, and she got released in July, and then of 2022, and then got back out, and then got rearrested in November.
So by then, by the time she got out in July, you had already been put in jail for the gun charge?
I was arrested a month after she got arrested.
Yeah, rearrested in November for not reporting the death of Michael Vaughn. And then once they get her in jail, press the charges against her for everything she did to Tanner. Very smart move on law enforcement. And then the charges were actually dropped against Sarah for the not reporting Michael's death, and still without prejudice though are able to go back and charge her again for those things, because she said Stacey buried Michael in the backyard. She said that he buried him in the Carson's yard, and goes on to say that the Almighty God told me that Stacey did it, and then turns around again and says that Adrian did it. It's funny in that story that Brandon isn't mentioned. And Stacey says that when Sarah and Adrian buried Michael in the backyard, Brandon wasn't anywhere around.
So during all these like little interactions, how did you end up getting arrested with the gun? Like, were you have it in your car or something?
With the gun, it was reported, Tanner had reported to the police that I sold the gun to the gunsmith in New Plymouth.
He's saying that Tanner is the one who reported him to the police for selling the pew pew at the pawn shop. But on Brooks's panel, when he talked to her, he said that Sarah is the one who told law enforcement. He literally says that Sarah threw him under the bus immediately when she got arrested in April for him selling the pew pew, and he was pissed off because he ends up in jail because she told police about that gun.
And the cops looked up and did some research on my name.
Yeah, and she mentions Carson Starkey, but not Brandon. It's weird. When they have both talked before about the actual burial of Michael in the backyard, neither one of them talk about Brandon. Where was Brandon when that was going on? A lot of people speculate whether or not Brandon is the one that moved Michael out of the Wondra's yard. But if he wasn't there, and neither one of them put him there when he's buried in the backyard, how would Brandon be able to take him out of the backyard and put him somewhere else? Again, when we go over this stuff, we speculate, we theorize, we talk about things that are not factual, that we have no clue whether or not they were factual. Please don't leave the channel spreading rumors. Please. I don't know if anybody's ever interviewed Tanner Rizzo.
And figured out I was a felon. And so they went and made their case, and then a month later in May, they arrested me for felon possession of a firearm.
Oh, so
they verified
so you having to go to prison stemmed from Sarah's temper tantrum. That sounds like. So you weren't on their radar for Michael Vaughan right at the beginning there?
Not at all.
And
not on radar for Michael Vaughn. He's like, not at all, not at all. But yet claims that right after he got arrested in May of 2022, they come in and start asking him questions about Michael, and even gave him a polygraph test, him and Sarah and Brandon, and that he was the only one to pass. Interesting. I'm kind of a little bit hyped up about this interview because he's saying things that I haven't heard him say before, contradicting himself in even more ways that I haven't heard before. And that's because I hadn't heard or watched all of this interview. I'd only watched like the first 10, 15 minutes of it, I think.
And then when you first went to jail in the first couple of weeks, did they try to interview you about Michael
No.
Vaughn? No.
No.
So then what happens?
Well, no, I take that back. They did a May 19th when so I was charged by the state initially for the felon in possession.
Uh-huh.
And then my state lawyer was like, well, the feds are going to pick up your case because I already had a fed guard charge prior.
Gun charge?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And so I when the feds picked up my case, Sarah and I were transported to the Meridian Idaho State Police,
Uh-huh.
and they questioned us in there about the disappearance of Michael and our trip to Cuna and towing the vehicle and stuff like that.
Oh, so
which
they knew
I have
about all
typed
that?
up on that. Yeah,
When was that they first questioned you?
like May 19th or some shit. I don't remember exactly. It was like middle of May.
Oh, right when you were arrested.
Mm-hmm.
So they arrested you, but they picked is when they arrested you.
All he did there was remember that he had already said something. He knew he had busted himself in a lie and yeah, had to retract what he just said.
They picked you and Sarah up and questioned you both?
No, Sarah got arrested before me. Remember?
Oh yeah, I
13th.
just thought, but you said they picked me and Sarah up and took us to.
They did at the jail. They did at the jail. Sarah, they took Sarah and I to Meridian, but we were both in we were both in Payette County Jail.
And did they put you in the same car together?
No, well, they put us in separate rigs and took us.
But they let you see each other to see if maybe one of you was going to talk or something like that. They didn't play you off. Did they tell you that they were interrogating her at the exact same time? So, but they're trying to see if one of you wanted to make a deal or something.
Mm-hmm.
And neither of you did.
There's nothing to give a deal. I mean, I don't. Yeah. I mean, they polygraphed me.
Yeah, and they told you. They told you passed that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that means okay. So prior to Sarah being on the driveway having a psychotic episode, prior to that, you came onto the radar. So that's what I was trying to figure out. Do you think one of your friends, like that guy that she pointed the gun at, do you think he told them that?
I don't think so. I mean, Sarah was
someone did.
Someone, I don't know. I don't have
someone did, or else why would they target you guys? Somebody, maybe somebody didn't like you, or maybe that guy got mad at you and told them that.
My impression is that the cadaver dogs apparently hit by the property.
They said that. Cadaver dogs. I did hear that, but
bingo. So he pretty much talks about exactly what I was talking about, because he says the cadaver dogs hit somewhere around the property. He's, I believe, talking about what Carson had said. It's an interview we will go over that JLR did. We've got a list of other, videos and stuff we're going to go over after we're done going through all of Stacey's interviews. But yeah, cadaver. I said the same damn thing he said. Jeez Louisa. Cadaver dogs. Abracadabra dogs. My husband's laughing. He does, babe. He says abracadabra dogs. My husband hates it when I'm sitting here going through all of his stuff because he can't even handle it. It sounds so bad. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with all of it. Yeah, the dogs hit really early on, shortly after Michael came up missing. And so if the cadaver dogs hit around their house shortly after it could have been within the first couple of weeks or so that they actually got a clue from the cadaver dogs and just went from there to find out more about Sarah and Stacey. And then when they were able to collect both of their cell phones, when this pew pew incident happens with Tanner, they may have been able to collect even more information then. I can't believe I said cadaver dogs. Jeez Louise. Get it together, Samantha Joe.
I don't know about it one way or another. So okay,
But that's
so
the only
so
reason
they
I could
said
think
their
of the question.
they said their basis for questioning
Mhm.
you was that cadaver dogs hid around your property,
Correct.
and and
My question is, why does everyone try to keep Brandon in the clear? That's exactly what I brought up earlier. I mean, like, Sarah and Stacey, neither one talk about Brandon being anywhere around when Michael's buried in the backyard.
by the time they questioned you, did they have all these different photographs of you around town and all that?
Just me at the us pulling off together at the 8th Street in Arizona, like I was on the recording, and then me earlier that day stopping at the splash pad to get my can of chew, and that was it.
And that's their whole case against you.
Mhm.
And then Sarah gets out, right? Sarah gets out, and you're still in jail. You're serving this
Mhm.
18 months. And she gets out, and when you're talking to her on the phone, does she sound like more and more
I
psychotic? Or
talked to her on the phone.
How long did Sarah spend in jail? So she gets in there in April. When is she released before she goes back to jail in November? Does anybody know? That timeline right there gets me. Sarah goes in. I'm writing this down. Sarah goes in April. When does she get out? And then she's back in jail, arrested for not reporting Michael's death. And that's gone. And they press charges on her for the pew pew. So when did she get out? After April, before November. I need to do some digging. I'm writing that down because it's confusing me. I'm just reading chat, everybody. Brandon really does threaten people all the time online. I get constant messages from people with text messages that he's wrote to people or in different places, especially that YouTuber, what, True Crime the Missing or whatever. They're always putting stuff out.
you couldn't talk to her from the
I
federal jail?
wasn't allowed to talk to her at all, no, because her pre-trial guidelines were that she wasn't allowed to talk to me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So did you hear from maybe the neighbors later that she was getting a little psychotic?
I talked to Carson periodically, which is the neighbor.
Yeah.
Talked to Carson periodically, like occasionally when I was in jail, and that's what he told me.
Oh, that she's getting a little kind of out there.
Mm-hmm.
So then it finally she's posting all that hyper over kind of religious, over the top stuff for about a few weeks or something. I don't know for how long, but there's a bunch of posts by her, and then it ends up with her one day laying on her front driveway and yelling stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what happened? And someone
Well,
called the police.
Mm-hmm.
Someone called, from what you heard, because you were in jail, so obviously you weren't witness to that. But so someone calls the police. She's on the front driveway, and allegedly the police said what? That she was saying. What did the police say she was saying?
Just do.
Yes, so I didn't want to add any confusion. In April of 2022, Sarah is arrested, and it has to do with the pew pew with Tanner. She spends a little bit in jail, then she gets out. And that's when Donna's sitting here talking about sometime after that time, she's acting a little bit off and mentally compromised outside in the driveway, rolling around and stuff. And then later on in November, the tip comes in from Stacey Wondra. They go excavate the backyard. And when they get there with the warrant on November 11th, Sarah starts throwing everybody under the bus. The Almighty God told her that Stacey did it, that Adrian did it, that Michael was buried in the backyard, and that's when she's arrested again for not reporting the death of Michael. She spends some time in jail. That gets dropped, but they proceed to prosecute her for the GUN charges from back in April. I'm just wondering where's the timeline? When did Sarah get out of jail before being rearrested is my question.
Doing what was reported.
Yeah, that's what, see, I don't watch that much. I usually do these readings, and then there's so many that I work on that I don't have time to like sit there and watch every detail. So it's like something to do with, was she telling them that you killed Michael?
She did that at the very start. Like when she first got arrested in November, when they came to serve a search warrant, that's when she was like, oh, well, the Most High God told me that Stacey did it.
Or she told the police that?
Most High God. But then she went from saying that to just mixing the words up. Like it went from that, and then she brought Adrian into it, and then brought the neighbor into it. And
she was saying they all took part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Yeah. See, I haven't even read the arrest affidavit. I mean, honestly, is it all in there? If someone wants to read
know.
it,
I've never seen it. I'm sure it is public record.
Yeah. No, I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear that she brought the neighbor into it. And is that Adrian? You said that was Adrian. She said he had part of it too, and Brandon too. Oh, so she said it was everybody.
No, she left Brandon out. The neighbor and
he even says here she left Brandon out. Interesting, because we were talking earlier about how she leaves Brandon out. He does the same thing. In the confession footage, he talks about how first he's just talking about Sarah digging a hole in the backyard, that she was the one who was digging. Then he starts talking about Adrian helping her do that. And straight up says, and Brandon was nowhere around.
And Adrian and me. Because she's trying to say it had something to do with it, but nothing. Sarah's crazy, man. Like she's not. There's nothing good with her at all.
Well, she'd have to be crazy because she's accusing you of doing something to Michael, right?
Yeah. Well, it's clear she was having a psychotic break for sure. So she told the police that you guys all did it, and did she tell the police that she just watched or what?
I don't know what she said. I just know what I was told is that's what was in the police affidavit. I don't know anything other than, like I said, what I mean, the very, very, very little information that I was told. Yeah. And that was what I already told you. So
yeah. And then did she originally say that Adrian buried the body in the backyard or something like that?
Well, there's that I did, and then switched it to Adrian.
Oh, she switched it.
Yeah, then said it was, and then it went from our backyard to Carson's backyard. There was just no consistency with her story.
Yeah, I didn't think there.
Just like there's no consistency with yours, Stacey.
We're gonna find his body there.
No.
I remember that, and I did notice when they were doing this digging, then I watched for a minute, and I didn't think they were gonna find the body there. No. So let's see if there's anything more. What? To that.
Except for law enforcement has said that Michael was buried in the yard, that there was evidence of it, and even the anomalies, I said it, you guys, anomalies were there as part of the evidence that the ground had been shifted, moved. The dirt wasn't compact. There was something back there. And they found a rag that literally almost makes Stacey Wondra shit himself when they find it, when he's watching them on that FaceTime. When they're out there looking for Michael's body and digging everywhere, and he keeps telling them where to go and where to dig. Some red rag they find, and it doesn't sit very well with him.
I don't know, all these people. So you guys let all these people, homeless people, stay at your house? This is what went on?
Few people, yeah.
Trying to be nice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I took notes while I was watching the interview with where this wolf, he calls himself, Ricky Chambers or whatever. Her first husband, what did he say?
Wolf Chambers is what he goes by, but his name's Ricky.
Oh, and then Brandon. So did you want to have children and she didn't, or what was the deal with that?
Opposite.
Everyone asks that question. So what, she wanted children, but you did not?
What I really like about Donna and her interview with Stacey is she stays nice and calm. She laughs. She, showing herself as being a real, true person makes him feel really comfortable. I really wish Donna would have known more about Monkey's case and more about what actually had happened, because I believe he's very comfortable talking with Donna, and she might have been able to actually get a really good slip up, because they're getting along wonderful here. I love the way she laughs and, all of that kind of thing. Everybody else that's had him up on panel has been very, very serious. He's very comfortable with her. I really wish she would have just known more about it all, so she could have had him up on panel longer and asked more questions.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't have kids. I'm not able to.
Is it the bull riding thing? I just heard that. I don't even need details about that.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So you gave the Brandon guy permission to impregnate her. Hope if she wanted to have a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really, that's not that abnormal of a situation.
But the thing is, too, he sits here and he says, I didn't want a kid. Sarah wanted a kid. Okay. We can understand that. Some people don't want to have kids. But then why would you try to why would you allow somebody else to have sex with Sarah to have a baby if you didn't want kids? Make that make sense. He was still going to have to be the person to raise it. That sounds horrible. Raise the child. Right? That was what the plan was supposed to be. Brandon gives her a baby. They raise a baby together. He's saying he doesn't even want a kid. He's said it multiple times that he didn't want a child. Sarah did. So why would he allow that to go on? I just don't believe it. I don't believe that that's the reason why they were boinking.
Let's see. So you used to go hunting with your grandfather?
My dad, yeah, all the time.
You know what? I just don't get, other than her saying that, so they know she's psychotic, but it sounds like they're not sure either, because otherwise they would arrest you.
Correct.
Right. I know. So what the heck? Because I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, where is it? Okay, they've got you. Why did you tell everyone you went by the dump? Is that
dump?
Yeah, I thought you
said landfill. I said I passed it on the way home, towing Brandon's car, because you have to pass it on the main road when you're driving into Payette. We weren't going to tow a vehicle on the interstate.
No, it wasn't going around. It wasn't that you were going out of the way. It was just that's the
No,
way
it's just
home.
that's how you got home, was passing the sign to Clay Peak Landfill.
Renee says maybe he is saying he didn't want a child, so people would think it was all her and he didn't want to kidnap Monkey. Yeah, he didn't want to kidnap Monkey because he didn't want a kid, so he's deflecting of the fact that he even wanted a child. I love it, Renee. Thank you so much.
And where did you guys have that belt snap? The
I do too.
The toe strap snap?
Yeah. Where'd that happen?
Off of Idaho 16.
And what?
What do you mean?
Well, 16 is like miles and miles. So what's the cross street?
I don't know. It was. I'll have exact like a pinpoint. I mean, I have the timestamp on of the photo from Google for when it was taken that night.
Oh, is that the one you held up on Justin's live or whatever? Okay. So that's just so it shows kind of on there what the cross street is. You don't remember? Do you have it?
It wasn't a cross street. It was literally a highway.
So you're on the highway and it snapped. How'd you make it go back together?
I just double knotted it the best way I could.
That's pretty risky. Huh? Did you guys have lights on that thing? Oh, you had tow lights. But you used a strap instead of a tow bar.
Well, we didn't have a tow bar. We didn't have a trailer. We just made it work with the tow strap. You know.
Yeah, I know they used to do that when I was a kid. I didn't know people still did it, but
all the time. Yeah,
that's how they used to tow cars when I was a kid, with a tow strap. So that was interesting. Let's see. I wonder if there's anything. Oh, what about the religious stuff? So you named your thing Faith.
I totally see. You can tell Stacey is still protecting Sarah, and the only reason would be because they are all in this crime together. And they all kind of go back and forth protecting one another, don't they? And that really makes them all look so guilty, because they have all had a chance to just come clean, say what they know, and be done and over with it. Because you either had something to do with abducting Michael or you didn't. And you either had something to do with Michael's murder or you didn't. If you are sitting in the living room and one of them walks in the house with a child and starts talking about whatever the reason why they've abducted this child, you have a choice right then and there. Get your ass up, pick up your phone, call 911, tell law enforcement exactly what you know. Why would anybody continue to be involved from there? They didn't all four reach out and grab Michael. They didn't all four throw him in the car, or however it happened. You understand what I'm saying? However this happened, there were decisions to be made. And they've decided to keep secrets. Secrets of who did what and where Michael is. Those are questions that Michael's family have been asking themselves, that have been haunting the Vaughn family this entire time. What happened? Who abducted him? Who murdered him? Where is he? What did they do to him when they had him? As hard as that is to say here on a live, what did they do with Michael when they did have him? And you hear Stacey Wondra talk about Brandon binding him up in a spare bedroom. You know, Brandy said in a chat one day how she saw that confession footage and how she hadn't slept or hasn't slept since. Could you imagine the horrible nightmares that they have had knowing what they do know? Sleeping outside on your porch, waiting for your son to come home, sleeping on the couch next to the front door, waiting for your son to come home, waiting holding your phone all day, every day, maybe not even wanting to, turn your phone off just to let it update or whatever, because you're fearful that you'll miss that phone call, that one phone call. It's heartbreaking.
Taxi, right? So was that way before, what year was that you started that?
Early 2022.
Okay, so before Sarah got psychotic, she still was actually into religion. Yeah, but you guys didn't go to a
Please grab that link for the meal train if you can afford to buy any kind of gift cards so that they can, use a Visa card to either pay bills or go buy groceries, or if you decide to, make a meal, because there is an option there, or, you buy the food credit card so they can DoorDash and get meals. It will be something that they need eventually when Brandy gets her liver transplant surgery. We're not sure whether or not Tyler's going to be taken off work or not, but it will help the family. You can also, buy hats, sweatshirts. I mean, there are zipper sweatshirts, there's pullover hoodies, coffee mugs, other cups, hats, and other things you can get to support Michael. And it's all going into a bank account for Michael's project later on.
a church or anything?
No, I went to church.
Oh, you did? And what kind?
Christian.
Christian church. And then did you guys read the Bible a lot and stuff? Yeah. Interesting. There's some definite peculiarities with all this. Hey, do you know, okay, so I was looking at that reading that I did before, and I'm wondering what abandoned factories, probably not the one in Fruitland, but one like I described, like a brick building with three.
There isn't.
There's none from there to Kuna.
No.
Do you know, have you ever went to like all the abandoned ghost towns and factories and stuff in Idaho? And what about, another clue in my reading? Did you listen to my reading?
I didn't get a chance. I passed out last night. I'm sorry.
That's okay. People tell me they like to go to sleep to my readings. It's really interesting. So if you ever can't sleep, just listen to one of them. But one of the clues in there was iceberg. And okay, so there's iceberg lettuce, right? And it could be related to finding the remains, not if you having anything to do with it. Just since you know the area, I'm just bringing it up. Yeah. So how my readings work is it's almost 100%. It's like 90% at least visual. It's like playing charades. It's literally like playing charades. And so one clue they gave me, they showed me a head of iceberg lettuce. And but then I found out industrial fans, the big popular brand is called Iceberg. That would be in a warehouse. So that's open. So it's like, I don't know what the clue, or maybe, he's in a iceberg lettuce near an iceberg lettuce field where you can see an abandoned warehouse from there, or, you know what I mean? Can you think of it? So essentially
into a lifestyle that I'm not down for anymore, I'm just, I don't want to deal with those same people.
Yeah.
I got my dad that lives out there, but he's not going to take me, and I'm not
move back to Montana.
I wanted to, but I don't got nobody in Montana that I want to.
Yeah. So essentially, how long do you have to stay on probation? You got to stay in Idaho for
3 years.
So you have to, can you get your probation transferred back to Montana if you want to move back to Montana?
I wanted to, but I don't got nobody in Montana that I want to go back to.
Yeah.
I got my dad that lives out there, but he's not going to take me, and I'm not going to be homeless in Montana.
Yeah.
I just not a good situation. That's where I grew up, and I don't want to deal with those same people I know. They all live up there.
Yeah. What, that are into drugs and stuff?
Just into a lifestyle that I'm not down for anymore. When I was younger, it might have been a different story, but
what kind of lifestyle is that, you mean?
there's people, I mean, people. That's how I got introduced to drugs, was hanging out with the wrong people. And I've never been a drug addict. You know what I mean? I've only done meth a handful of times.
He's not a drug addict, but yet every time he has to go in and pee, he's failing his UAs because of all different kinds of drugs, but he's not a drug addict. And we've seen him up on panels high as a kite, but he's not a drug addict. He admits that he's done drugs. He admits that he's done, it's just, you are a drug addict. Whenever you can get your hands on something, you do it, period. And I believe he doesn't go back to Montana because he can't get those drugs, and he can't live like he does in Idaho with getting the help inside, the shelters and all of that.
Probably 3 or 4 times, and cocaine I've done a few times, but I've never, and weed, but I've never done anything else. And I just, I know if I continued to live in Bozeman, like, it was just only going to get me hung up or caught up, and I just wasn't good with that. Like,
Is that why you moved to Idaho?
I moved to Idaho because I got married, but
well, how'd you meet Sarah?
through a chat line.
Oh, so you were in Montana, she was in Idaho, and you started chatting with her?
Mm-hmm.
Here, just let me turn this off real quick. So you started chatting with her, and you flew there or drove there to meet her, and you guys hit it off?
Correct.
And then how long after you first met her did you move in with her?
I didn't really move in with her. We lived homeless for
Thank you so much, Past, for gifting 1 membership. If you received a membership from Past, please thank him. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that here at Missing PNW. Looks like somebody become a whisperer. I do appreciate that so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member. Alrighty. And we're almost done with this. It looks like we're going to keep going, see if there's anything else in here. And we're going to talk about Michael.
a decent amount of time, and then in Idaho, and then eventually her parents let us move into their second house on Red Wing Street.
So how long do you think to get all together from the time you first met her till the time you guys went to jail? How long was that? Like a year or 2 or more?
Yeah, 2 years.
About 2 years. So you're together about 2 years, and then all this happened?
Correct. No, I'm sorry. No, we met each other. We got married really quick.
A bit loud, that, Sam. My dog about fell off the sofa. I am so sorry. It is a tiny bit loud, but we have to have our dancing parties.
We got married like a month and a half later after getting to know each other.
After 6 weeks you got married? Oh yeah, I remember watching a little clip.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it looks like Hot Mess got that membership, and she is thanking Past. I appreciate that so much.
You guys got married. Do you think your marriage was pretty normal? Or did you start noticing her to have mental problems, like the psychosis stuff, prior to all this happening?
No.
She was pretty normal?
Yeah.
And then you guys were helping people by giving people.
My guess is that the reason why Sarah and Stacey know things, I mean, they do have phone conversations with people, and Eve keeps in contact with Stacey. I don't know if she's continuously doing it while he's in jail, but I believe that they know things because people are telling them things. I mean, they talk with their parents and stuff, I'm sure. It's not hard to find out what's going on in the internet if you're talking to people over the phone. And I 100% believe that Eve is still talking to Stacey. That is my own personal opinion, but if they know what's going on on the internet, it's probably because somebody that they're talking to over the phone or whatever is telling them. Because I don't believe they have access to internet in jail or prison.
When you saw homeless people, because you'd been homeless, that's why, huh? You knew what it was like.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So you guys were helping a lot of people, and then she pulls this gun on this guy. That sounds like what started this ball rolling.
Your screen's frozen, by the way.
Oh, look at that. What am I supposed to do, you think?
I have no idea. I
I
think
don't either. Oh, no.
Go on with the flow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because it's spinning too. I'm afraid to touch it. It might just drop this. But if it does,
Don't do it.
What?
Don't do it.
I know. Okay. Let's see. So pretty much you guys had you had a pretty normal little community you were always creating at your house, sounds like. And trying to get these businesses off the ground and stuff like that.
Correct.
And then doing the cab thing, and then she gets mad one day and she points a gun at this guy and he calls the police. And from then on, see, I think it sounds like that guy probably suggested it, you think, or maybe it just brought you guys in their attention. So they just investigated everyone that was brought to their attention for any reason, or.
Yeah, correct.
Do you know if this guy, what's his name? Tanner Butler.
Missy doesn't know anything about Michael's abduction, and she believes that Brandon is innocent. I have spoken with her. She does not believe that Brandon has anything to do with Michael's abduction. She believes that Brandon was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Did he? Is he in the arrest warrant? Is claiming anything? Like whoever said this? So just this situation, then you're on your radar, and then they're investigating you, and then they start accusing you. Because do they have anything other than you being at the splash pad and you at stopping at this, which is a park, right? It's besides the splash pad, it's a regular park too, isn't it? So it's normal. That's a place to pull over and park, right?
Absolutely.
And then you guys pulled over on the only street to go out to the highway. You guys just pulled off that street and put in the fluid. So you're saying, so that's all they have on you?
That's, to my knowledge, I mean, that's all they've shown me. So
other than Sarah flipping out on the driveway or whatever? That's what probably really ramped it into high gear, don't you think?
Probably,
Sarah flipping out. Because it would seem like if she's in jail and she thinks you're going to divorce and there was any truth to all this, she would start singing like a canary.
Exactly.
You know, if she had something real to give them and she knew you were actually going to abandon her or whatever, seems like she would start talking.
Past, you were so good to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Past says here, I appreciate what you do. Keep up the great work. Much love and respect. Thank you. No, thank you. I could not do this without you. Thank you so very much. Don't let your dog fall off the couch. Thank you, Past. I appreciate you. You have been here for a while. If you guys would like to become a member, please join. You can watch from the bushes if you want. That's fine too. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, because I am absolutely, positively always doing live spur of the moment. I've been trying very hard not to do that, because I noticed that some people are not getting their notifications. But I want to finish this out real quick. It is almost over. Then we can put beautiful Monkey's face up and talk about him. Thanks again, past.
Although, what's her charge? What's her sentence right now she's serving?
She's eligible for parole in February of 2026.
2026. Oh my God, 2026. That's 2 more years. So she got like 5 years or something for.
She got 3 years.
She got 3 years for pulling the gun on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
3 years. So she's got 2 more years to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. It would seem like if she knows you're filing divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't say anything.
No.
To the police or whatever. Yeah, that Wolf guy or that Ricky Chambers guy is going on there saying that she fantasizes about kidnapping people and stuff.
It says it's recording.
Do you have anything else you want to say? So we got about 10 more minutes or whatever.
Not really, honestly. Like.
Okay, so here's my book, Afterlife Exploration.
Well, and there is that. I really wish she would have known more about Michael's case, more about what happened to him and the suspects and stuff. But that was a good interview. She got Stacey really, really comfortable. Thank you, Donna, so much for doing that interview. We've dropped her link a couple times. It is in the description box. Thank you guys all for coming. I appreciate you all so much. Let's see. Any child, let me see. What's the chances of Michael being out at the exact time that they drive by unless they weren't hunting? Yeah. Well, not only just hunting. I mean, he's at a splash pad. Yeah, hunting, I mean. And he's at a splash pad during that day. He's at a skate park for hours. Brandon and Sarah talk about going inside of a mall, driving around a mall. I don't believe that Stacey is the only one talking. I believe the longer things go by, the more law enforcement maybe, I mean, speculating here, say charges have, okay, DA has told the Vaughn family they've written up charges, you know, they're getting all their paperwork and stuff ready to put the cuffs on, to put out those indictments, right? And do you guys really think that they haven't reached out to suspects and said, hey, this is the deal? I mean, what do you guys think? You think they're just going to sit there? They're looking for Michael. They want to find Michael. I think before actually putting out indictments, they're going to try reaching out to the suspects and be like, okay, who wants this deal? So I don't believe that Stacey's the only one talking. And I don't think that he's threatening enough to them, because if he was, they would have never taken Michael out of the yard while he was sitting in jail if they were afraid of Stacey. Sarah Suspicious thinks they're talking. Samantha, Brandy is sending you a video. Okay, thank you. I'm going to take a look at that right now. Hold on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Let me just see. Uh, hold on one moment, please. Have some patience. I am reading and looking at something right now. She's wanting me to share a video. You guys will have to give me a moment. I'll have to mute myself, do a screen recording, and download it onto my phone or onto my computer. So give me 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes to do this, because I do not know how long this video is. So I'm going to mute myself for just a minute. And yeah, stay tuned. Brandy has a message. Thank you guys so much for being patient. I'm going to not play the actual video, but I am going to let you guys listen to the video because it is about 3 minutes long, and just the time that it would take for me to download it and everything else, but you're still going to be able to hear this video. Brandy wants everybody to hear this video. What you're about to hear is going to be a little disheartening. So if, you know, let's protect your mental health. Buggy, it has been waking up having horrific nightmares. She says that she made a promise to Monkey, and these nightmares have been happening a lot in the middle of the night. And she wants the suspects, and she wants everybody to know, Brandy does, what exactly has been going on with Buggy in the middle of the night. So what I'm going to do is turn my phone up, put this kind of like up to the microphone, and just let you guys hear what's been going on.
What's going on? Come here. I made a wish. It's a monkey. What is it? It's untrue. Here. Okay. Stay right here. He loves you so much. Okay. 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 Yeah, she just making sure. Okay.
I did confirm that she did want this played. She does want it played. Buggy is upset. She misses her brother. She wants Monkey home. She's crying and upset. She's having nightmares. You know, Brandy wants the suspects to know exactly the heartbreak that's going on in this house that they are still dealing with 3.5 years later.
What's going on? It just takes time. Sometimes the video good night.
It's still playing. It's just very soft, everyone.
Just get rid of it. It's okay. Here.
You can hear Brandy just comforting Buggy, trying to calm her down.
Deep.
Yes, Kelly.
Chicken cat.
This is as real as it gets.
Chicken cat. Yeah, she's down with the chicken. Does she? Yeah, she's down with the what? She does. Yes. So just with our friend today. So let's do something that really is not waiting. Yes. And if they wait here, I don't know. You cuddle up with Mama. Blanket Mommy and Monkey. We cuddle it. I have a rabbit muffin. There you go. Just go, chicken cat. Chicken love you. Yeah, she's down with the chicken. Fun tomorrow. My dragon is gonna help me too. And today, okay, do something hopefully it's not waiting. Good night. Yeah. Good night, Mom. Please, you cuddle up with Mom. Good night. Okay, this is the blanket Mommy and Monkey. We cuddling. I have to wrap him up then.
She finally got Buggy calmed down, and they covered up and cuddled, and Buggy is heartbroken. You know, we've seen videos where Buggy is talking to her brother, playing with her brother. I know it was really disheartening to hear Buggy so upset. I made sure to triple check that she wanted it played, and she did. So time is running out for these suspects. You know, just because it's 3 years later or over 3 years later does not mean that this family isn't still suffering. They're suffering every single day. Now Buggy's having horrible nightmares. I mean, I don't know how long these nightmares have been going on. Michael Vaughn was abducted on July 27th, 2021. And there are 4 named suspects: Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Brandon Chertliff, and Adrian Lucian. One or more of these suspects kidnapped Michael. One or more of them murdered Michael. One or more buried him in the backyard at the Wondra's house. And one or more moved Michael's body to an unknown location. And the Vaughn family has no answers. They do not know where Michael is. They do not know what happened to Michael. And that's all they want, is answers. Michael deserves justice. The Vaughn family deserves justice for their sibling, for their son. And it's time the justice is served. It's time for indictments to go out. Let's make it happen. Share Michael, share his story everywhere. Go to the Michael Vaughn Facebook group. There are several where you can grab a flyer and you can share Monkey and his story on social media. It gets around. It's the fastest way to get the word out for Michael. It's time. We are Michael's army. And we're not going away. Monkey's army is going to stay right here. There is a $52,000 reward for any information leading to where Michael is. You can remain anonymous. Make the phone call. The tip line phone number is 208-642-6006. Tuned. 208-642. Oh, I need to turn down my phone. Sorry. My heart is breaking right now. Poor little Buggy is waking up in the middle of the night, crying. She's saying she made a promise to Monkey. Baby sister feels like she's failed her brother and hasn't kept her promise. How heartbreaking is that? She's a baby herself. She shouldn't even be worried about a promise that she feels like she broke. Buggy, we love you. The Vaughn family, we love you. And we're praying for you. And we really hope that this nightmare ends. Because that's what it is. It's a damn nightmare. And I'm sorry that you guys do not have the answers that you deserve. And I am sorry that justice has not came, but it will. And we will make damn sure that it does. We're never going to stop. And whoever is out there that has any kind of tip whatsoever, you need to come forward with that tip. You can't just sit on a tip like that. It is your obligation to come forward. Be Michael's hero. Be the family's hero. Call the police tip line at 208-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. Remain anonymous. Collect over $52,000 for any information leading to Michael Vaughn. Do you know any of the 4 suspects? Do you know a person that did know the suspects? Have you heard through the grapevine? Yeah, it might be hearsay, but still, what you have is information that law enforcement could use while indictments are coming out, while charges, to make the case that much more stronger. The fact that Brandy would even have to send a video of her baby crying, upset about her brother and the promise that she made him is just absolutely sickening. It's so sad and it's heartbreaking. I don't even know what to say, you guys. I'm just speechless. My heart's broken right now to hear the baby crying and stuff. I'm so glad she was able to get Buggy settled down. This sounds like something that's been going on for a while, because I did have to call Brandy to verify this was something that she wanted out. The first video that she sent me had a really bad echo in the background, so she had to resend another one. So there were a little bit of like technical difficulties here. Purple's in the house. I didn't even see Purple come up. Nice to see you, hun. Yeah, speechless. I am, because I'm just heartbroken right now. You know, Brandy's got a lot going on, and she may watch from the bushes every now and then. She hasn't really had the strength and energy to come in to chat and stuff. She's, you know, got done saying last week she had over 13 appointments this week. Can you imagine? I mean, she's just trying to take care of her health and stuff, and yet, you know, she's Mama Bear. She's, you know, still watching, still paying attention, still fighting. She's never going to stop. It's just heartbreaking. Again, the 4 suspects in the abduction of Michael Joseph Vaughn, Monkey, is Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Brandon Shirtliff, and Adrian Lucian. And one of them knows exactly where Michael is right now. If anybody has a tip, please call 206-642-6006 or email findmichael@fruitland.org. No tip is too small. You can remain anonymous. If your tip's good enough, you can collect over $52,000. If you know something, say something. If you've seen something, tell law enforcement. If you're scared, go into law enforcement and talk with them and bring a friend. But that's why you can come in or call in anonymously too. His family has been through enough. All the kids are even still dealing or having to deal with their mom being so sick. It's just time. We're never going to stop. I hope the suspects can hear us. We're never going to stop. We're never going to stop fighting for justice. We're never going to stop looking for Monkey. We're never going to stop asking questions. We're never going to stop having lives, not until Michael gets the justice that he deserves, and not until this family can rest easy knowing that Michael's at home and mourn the way they need to mourn. I appreciate you guys all so much for coming in. Such a heartbreaking end to this live show. Chaos Queen, thank you so much for being supportive. Thank you for being an amazing mod. I appreciate you so much. Little Devil, thank you so much. I could not be here without all of you. I appreciate you guys coming and supporting the family. Thank you for coming in, supporting Michael Joseph Vaughn. You guys are amazing. We're never going to stop being here for Monkey. She is Buggy in her little voice. She's just the sweetest little girl. And she's upset, feeling like she broke a promise to her brother. I don't even think she really even understands exactly what's happened. They've tried to explain it, but she thinks the bad guys are going to bring her brother home. If you have any information about Michael's abduction, please call the Fruitland Police Department. Be this family's hero and help bring Michael home where he belongs. The tip line phone number is 208-642-6006. And you can also email findmichael@fruitland.org. Sorry, you guys, I lost my words. I'm just sitting here still a little bit heartbroken and shaken up. Brandy Hun, I know you're still listening. I love you. We love you. We're never going to stop. There are so many people in chat that love the Vaughn family, that are always sending prayers and love. Thank you for being here, Little Devil. I appreciate you so much. Let's play. Let me take down this banner for just a second. And yeah, I'm going to eat a taco salad for dinner. I want to say once again, thank you guys all for coming. I'd rather watch a little video of Michael's face, since we have had enough of Stacey Wondra's face. Purple just put up a link. This is the link that you can click on to get any coffee mugs, drink cups, pullovers, sweatshirts, zip up hoodies. There are t-shirts. They come in blue, pink, black. There's also hats, lots of really cute little things. If you guys would like to click the link, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I've been meal prepping, Rogue. I have to meal prep so that I have time to just meal prep taco meat on Sunday just to have it. So I have things ready for the lives and stuff so I can hop off and feed me in the hubs. Yeah, so much ignorance from Stacey Wondra. I'm not sure which one we're going to watch Thursday. I will not be here tomorrow. At least I don't believe. I haven't heard from my daughter. That's strange. I just realized that. I usually always hear from her on Tuesday because we get together and eat dinner every Wednesday night, and I visit with my grandbabies, and I haven't heard from her today. And I know she was sick. She may not be feeling well. If she is not feeling well and I'm not getting together with her, I will be back tomorrow. So please hit the notification bell. I'll be putting up a thumbnail as soon as I know when I'm going live. Yeah, click that like button on the way out. Thank you guys all for being here. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to put up a Michael video. I appreciate you all for coming. Have a great night, everybody. Let me get around to the video. Here we go.